The poll has closed, the votes are in, and the community has spoken. We want sailing in the game. It barely passed, by the way, or it barely got the most amount of votes. Shamanism was a very close second. Taming was way far behind. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I genuinely... Okay, so initially I was thinking Shamanism's going to win based on some Twitter polls and other just opinions around the community. I feel like on Twitch, at least the communities I hang out with, there's a lot of like elitist players or just higher level players that play this game every single day. And it feels like the majority of those players actually want Shamanism. I'm on Team Sailing. I've been Team Sailing since day 2 after the pitches came out. So I'm very happy with this. Now, the poll was very close. So they are saying right now that they're going to dive into sailing and give us a really detailed pitch of what they see sailing offering the community. So yeah, obviously we have no idea what sailing is actually going to be. So now is when Jagex gets to work. But there have been a lot of people on Twitter and other places saying, hey, like Shamanism was really close. Can you at least give a presentation, like a detailed presentation of what Shamanism could be if that had passed, just so we get a very clear idea of 2 different pitches that could fit in the game. And I'm okay with that. I think that's a fantastic point. I mean, are we just now all eggs in the basket of sailing, and then whatever pitch they give, we just kind of have to like settle with it? So I think it would be cool to just maybe don't go as in depth with Shamanism, but at least show what you would have done with Shamanism. I'm talking to Jagex right now through my ramble. Okay. Anyway, we're going to cover this poll, or not the poll, the blog or whatever this thing, the poll result blog, and just kind of see what Jagex says about the whole thing. And then I'll share my thoughts later. So let's get chopping these redwoods. Come on, we don't got time to slack. All right, skill pitches results poll. The new skill pitch poll has just concluded with over 178,000 votes. Woo! What a fantastic turnout. Whether you're an aspiring sailor, shaman, or tamer, we'd like to say a heartfelt thank you for taking the time to vote. You're part of old school RuneScape history. Our philosophy has always been to put our community at the heart of everything we create. After all, we make the game for you, and money. In line with this, we've made massive changes to our polling approach, taking your valuable feedback into consideration much earlier in the design and the development process. Critically, this means that we spend less time on content you don't want because we're able to drop unwelcome ideas much earlier on. That is pretty good, I'm not going to lie. The new skill pitch poll has been the first real trial of the system, and we think it's been a great success. We hope our new community-centric approach has been a welcome change for all of you too. Excuse me. No matter the outcome, we want everybody to continue participating in the development of the skill. Whatever skill you voted for, your opinion is still important. Together, we can make this new skill work for everyone. Enough stalling. It's time to see the results of the poll. Okay, so here they are. Coke Zero. I wish I was sponsored, man. No, it's fine. It's a good drink. It's not like incredible. I mean, I'll still drink it all day, but all right. By the way, I took like a week tolerance from caffeine, so we're back on it. I'm feeling great. So, all right. Okay, yeah, so this was the poll. So look at this. Sailing, 59.2. Shamanism, 58.8. Literally 0.4% difference. Now, this was the one where you're just kind of voting for any of them. So like people could have voted for all 3 right here and just been like, oh, I'm cool with any of them. This second one is the most important. Which new skill pitch is your favorite? I think this one really gauges it a little bit better. So 36% said yes, they want sailing. And so that's a difference of about 5,300 votes-ish, I think, right? Am I doing that right? Yeah. So Shamanism, 3% behind. As you guys can see, Taming, it like literally half not great, half of what Sailing had. So it's pretty clear that Sailing did pass. Now, obviously, they're still close, and I would still love to see a detailed pitch of what Shamanism could look like. I know that takes time, and I know we've already kind of settled on Sailing, but I still think it's a good approach. And I am one of those players that is just all in on Sailing. So the fact that I'm willing to just, see what Shamanism has to offer, I think it would just give more contrast, and it would make at least the sailing pitch, in my opinion, pop more. If like, I don't know. If you're just showing, okay, this is what you guys decided on, I feel like there's more negativity that comes along with it because now it's like we're all in on this, you know? So I feel like sharing 2 different pitches might be the way to go. Who knows? Obviously, it takes a lot more time because if they're going to go super in depth, that means they need to come out. For example, moving with sailing. How are our boats going to move? Personally, I actually kind of just want to share this briefly. This is just a little idea because I was just brainstorming in my head, laying in bed this morning. I was like, how are we going to navigate the seas? And I was genuinely thinking, what if, so on my game right here, if you guys can you even see my cursor? I can't even tell because whenever I pull this up, my OBS closes. Okay, so basically the mini map of the game would enlarge potentially, or not enlarge, just kind of get rid of these HP things or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it could have boat HP, but this would this would be how you traverse the waters, is just with your mini map. And then your actual character is on the boat, and you can actually move around in the boat, but you obviously wouldn't move your character through the minimap. You could only move your character through the actual game screen, and the minimap section would be how to traverse the water. So the reason I like this approach is because your boat, for example, could go off on a journey. So you're clicking the minimap, you're traveling super hella far. You could zoom out in the minimap, click a super far destination, and your boat just kind of takes you there. And then on your boat, you could build a bank box or something and do some bank standing skills while your boat is set course. Now, if your sailing level's high enough, maybe successfully you're going to pass all the dangerous waters and everything, and you're going to get past fine. Maybe if you have a lower level, then you can get interrupted and you'll have to encounter some bullshit, and you guys get interrupted. There's a Kraken 2.0 that pops up in the water. But navigationally, you would just be using the minimap to move your boat. Now, this is just literally a thought I came up with 2 hours ago. So take it with a grain of salt. No need to freak out or anything. But I think that is a good approach. I think it would be cool to at least be able to use your character, do bank standing skills, be on the ship with your friends on there. So it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like Age of Empires 2, you know what I mean? Where the boat is just a boat that's miniature, and it just obviously Age of Empires 2, the boats actually were pretty good size. I think Age of Empires 1 is the one where the boats are the size of 3 different people, basically. It's is that how we're doing it? Are the boats going to just be shrunken? I know that would feasibly be better if it's an MMO because I don't know, can boats stack inside of each other? Can you have 2 different boats stacked in, kind of you can have 2 players stacked DDing, I don't know how it's going to work. I think that's weird. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what they come up with. Who knows? It's going to be very complex, very complicated, I imagine. But I think, in my personal opinion, it would be cool to be able to use my character on top of navigating a boat, not just navigating a boat. I think that would be more boring. And I think the option to use your character and move ships would actually have a higher skill gap for PvP if it ever came in. So if sailing comes out with a PvP mode where you can battle each other's ships or whatever, have cannons shooting out on other people's ships, I think what would be really cool is you get to navigate your boat, so you can dodge the cannonballs flying at you, but you're still in the boat, so you're actually controlling 2 different things, kind of, so your guys can be shooting fire surge over across the boat to the other players and walk across the gangplank and all that shit, go down, your boat's breaking, you're repairing your boat while you're navigating your ship, things like that. I think that would be cool instead of just it being you're navigating your ship and you can't see your player. You know what I mean? Holy fuck, I'm going on a ramble. All right, let's continue this before I lose my mind. Sailing has been chosen as both the community's favorite skill pitch and the skill we'll take forward into Refinement. Sailing is an open world skill which will let you explore the uncharted seas of Gielinor, take part in various maritime activities, and upgrade your very own ship. We've already taken on board early feedback about community deal breakers such as the navigational mechanics and the concern that the skill will feel like a minigame. In the near future, we'll present a more detailed explanation for what refinement means for sailing. Our kickoff meeting is scheduled for later this week. We're glad that our skill pitches resonated with so many of you, but unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to one of them. Taming was pretty popular, but didn't receive nearly as much support as the other 2 skills, so we won't look to pursue this idea further. I'm glad they just do that. It's better to be oh, some of you guys wanted it, so we're just going to keep it in the back burner. No, it's very clear that there's better ideas. So now, I'm not against having some sort of animal skill in the future. Me personally, I'm not against it. I just feel like taming was horribly pitched. I'm sorry. That's just like, there was no, it was just a big jumble of like, oh, this is kind of what people like. They like pets and training them, and they don't want it to interfere with combat, but we kind of want it to. But like, it's just a big cloud. So I think pets have a huge potential for this game. Pets or collecting monsters or whatever the hell. I think that actually is a great idea, but you need to make it fit in line with old school a little bit better and just give an actual pitch. However, the third skill, shamanism, came very close to taking the crown with just a 3% difference in the votes. At times, shamanism and sailing were just 100 votes apart. With that in mind, we think it's important to talk about what's next for a runner-up skill. While sailing will, of course, be our primary focus, we want to reassure you that we're open to exploring more skills in the future. Your feedback regarding shamanism was clear. You love the concept of the spirit realm and see the potential to revitalize underutilized areas of the game. You also like the idea of expanding on rich lore, and in general, a production and gathering skill was something the community felt fit old school RuneScape to a T. Because shamanism has already proved so popular, it will be going into our backlog for refinement at some point after sailing is complete, assuming the community still wants it by then. So keep in mind, guys, they're not saying after sailing's in the game they're going to review it. It's like after the sailing refinement is complete, then they could go in the backlog and show what shamanism could be as well. You may be at least that's how I'm taking it. You may be wondering, since the votes were so close, why we didn't run a tiebreaker poll for sailing and shamanism. This was something we considered when it became clear that the two pitches were neck and neck, but ultimately we decided that this approach had too much potential to hinder the process. We'd probably be left with the same situation where the results were that's exactly what would happen. Even if shamanism were to bump up ahead, it would be very hypocritical of the players right now that are on Twitter saying, oh my God, shamanism's so close, you better just give that one a pitch too. Because I swear, if they were to re-poll it and shamanism passed by like 0.1%, they'd be like, all right, fuck sailing. Like, it's over. It's over for you guys. I feel like the people that I'm engaging with on Twitter really want shamanism, and they're just very vocal. I feel like the vocal people are like, we wanted shamanism, bitch. Like, fuck. Anyway, so, yeah, I think what they've decided is a good idea, not to re-poll it. And I still think, though, at this point, it's clear that both of them are pretty head and head. So it would be cool to see two pitches, like I've said 30 times this ramble. Plus, we don't like the idea of pitting two amazing skills against each other. While we love seeing your passionate arguments for the new skills, we want the community to really come together during the refinement phase. We completely understand that some of you will be disappointed that your preferred skill didn't win the poll this time. But remember, we're still open to adding more skills in the future, and you still have a chance to make a significant impact to the development of the winning skill. So even if sailing is not your favorite, please continue to send in your feedback so we can shape it into the skill you want it to be. Let's work together and focus our efforts to create the best possible skill. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone who participated in the poll. You're all upstanding members of the old school RuneScape community. Keep an eye out for future updates on what's next for sailing. We're looking forward to working closely with you all on this exciting project further during refinement. Now hoist the rigging. We sail at dawn. All right. Ooh, they just say old school team now. There's not like a bajillion people. That looks a lot cleaner, I will say. So just a little point on this. It's great that I see all the names. It really does feel like it's maybe like more personal, but there's so many people on the old school team now. I just skip it completely. I feel like most people just see that and like, oh, too many names, not going to read it. So the old school team actually kind of works pretty well. Okay. So a few thoughts. I guess we'll just go back to the full cam briefly. A few thoughts. I've already shared my thoughts clearly, but I'm very excited for sailing. I hope you guys are too. I hope that even if you guys were looking for shamanism, you're still at least willing to be like, okay, sailing is most likely going to come into the game. I say most likely. There's still a big chance that it couldn't, but it feels as though the community's spoken. The biggest chunk of players do want sailing to come into the game, and I think we can kind of assume that it will be coming into the game. I'm excited to see what Jagex has to offer for it. I think PvP should really be in. This is like speaking to the J-mods. I really think it would be cool to just, at least when you're going to the refinement and sharing what you think sailing could be, just offer a little bit of PvP, or at least an idea of it, and share some thoughts, because I really do think that has big potential. I'm an Ironman even, so I probably won't even be participating in it, but I will say there will be content upon content if the team were to actually take some time and thought into balancing PvP sailing. Truly. I truly think it could be extremely healthy for the game. Imagine it, like sailing the open waters. You got 5 teammates, you got 5 boats, you got like 5 crew members on each boat, 25 players v 25 out in deep wildy waters. Battle it out, I think that'd be really cool. And I think what would also be cool is like in those deep waters, I'm just going to throw out ideas right now because I'm just really excited that sailing pass, to be quite honest. I think what would be really cool is in those like deep waters, there is danger out there. Like there could be flying dragons and shit that can just kind of RNG your boat, like put flames on it. Not obnoxiously, not something like just that's going to piss you off, and potentially you could dodge it too. But just being out there, having some PvP fun, maybe even have like low risk, PvP where you can just do it, but your boat doesn't actually break. I think the high risk stuff really should, like your boat should legitimately break and you have to spend a bunch of money to repair your boat and stuff. But there should be some low stakes kind of stuff where like your boat just kind of resets back once you're done. Maybe it could be like a little instance area where you kind of do some scrimmages or something. Seriously, now this is all dependent on how we navigate the boats, what's going on. Anyway, tons of potential. Super, super excited. If you guys forgot, this update is literally going to change the landscape of RuneScape slightly. It's going to change how the water looks, which personally I'm very excited for. Right now, water in RuneScape looks like blue carpet with some fucking little TV static if there's a fishing spot. Like, it just looks horrible. Obviously, it's very iconic. It has that nostalgia fix. I'm not saying, like, I can't play this game because of it, but I don't know. I think it would be actually cool to see some enhancements to the water, see some coral reefs, like they said, down beneath the water, be able to dive. Like, think about that, guys. Think about sailing and you park your boat somewhere, put an anchor down and like dive down in there and explore some fucking loot. Like there's some lost pirate ship that sunk down in the water and you got to dive. Hopefully the swimming in water isn't incredibly obnoxious. Hopefully flippers actually work, unlike right now fishing trawler, Jagex, fishing trawler, flippers still don't work down there. Why? When you go down in the fishing trawler area where the little stones are to go to that elite glue step, why can't I use flippers to move faster? Come on. Anyway, diving could be a thing. Just exploration in general just seems so fun. I'm so excited, guys. I'm really happy that sailing passed, truly. So anyway, that's it from me. More rambles on sailing in the future, especially once Jagex starts talking about it a little bit more and there's more ideas floating around. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys are enjoying the rambles. I'm talking to Abyss later today on the Sebecast. Very excited for it. And this Sunday, we are having Hebox, Yonga, and JCW on the cast at the same time. So very excited now. Those will be up on Wednesday, respectively on Wednesday and Monday of next week. So look forward to those. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, hope you guys have a wonderful day. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Keep up all the great work. Keep up the smiles. And catch you in the next one. Peace.